Welcome back to the channel, folks. This is Shane. In today's live stream test, we're streaming directly to YouTube using the YoloBox from YoloLiv. Now, if you're unfamiliar with this unit, it's essentially a fully integrated encoder and live streaming solution. It can handle two HDMI inputs, which I've got connected right now, and it also has a USB 3 port, which you can then attach a USB 3 to HDMI adapter and get that third port. If you missed that video, I'll link it up in the cards after this video and you can take a look. So one of the cool things about it now is I'm running the HDMI out. I've got a reference monitor back there I can see myself on as well. And I can also see myself on the screen here, which is fantastic. So we're going to go through some of the updates to this latest firmware and whether or not it's actually fixed the audio clicking bug when you're streaming to YouTube. Now, if you're streaming to Facebook or capturing to an SD card internally, it works fine. But there was these audio bugs that were happening just on YouTube. I'm going to talk about something else at the end of this video as well, just to be aware of, and I hope they address that in the next update, but we'll get to that in just a moment. So just to give you my setup, I'm using a GH5S as my primary camera. I'm using a GH5 as my second camera, and the audio is just coming from my primary camera thanks to this Rodelink Wireless or Wireless Go, whatever it's called. So I'm going to show you some of the new transitions. So if we hit the setting icon over here on the right, it brings, I'll change screen so you can see it. So you hit the settings tab, go to video source transitions, and we have all of these new transitions which will allow us to add an effect essentially between scenes, which is really cool. So right now I've got it set to cut. So if I tap on any video source, it will then just simply cut to the next scene. Now if we go to fade, for example, you can see we get a nice dissolve fade, which looks really good. Let's try wipe. That's wipe. Directional wipe. That's pretty cool, actually. I like that. Translation. Yeah, don't really like that one too much, but anyway, it's all personal choice. We get window slice, which looks okay. Simple zoom. Not bad. Cross zoom, which looks very much like the Final Cut zoom effect. I actually kind of dig that. We get squeeze, which you can use if you so choose, or we can leave it set to default, which is cut. So it's great to see some updates come through for this. Now, I'm not going to do anything to this video other than trim the start and the end off in the YouTube editor. So this will all be one big take. So fingers crossed it all works. And one thing I wanted to add to this is one thing that I've noticed now that I've used this room a number of times with my lighting setup. Now, as I see myself on the reference screen here, and as I see myself on the reference screen there, I notice the final image that gets streamed to YouTube loses contrast. And that has nothing to do with my TV settings or my monitor settings back here or this preview device here. It actually looks darker on the screen than it does when it hits YouTube. So just be aware of that. Hopefully there'll be some contrast and maybe some brightness settings added to the settings tab on this unit at some point, but the video quality should be very good still. Now I'm in a PAL region, so my cameras are set up at 50p, and then YouTube and this unit will also upscale that to 60p. So that'll be the end result, but just know that the color isn't quite as accurate. Now you could maybe compensate by changing your camera settings. It still looks fine, but it's just something that I've noticed in comparison to other live streaming solutions. But in terms of what this does, it's basically in a league of its own when it comes to the touch functionality like this, and just basically having everything in one. Now, this device can also allow you to stream to multiple platforms at the touch of a button. So as long as you're either on Wi-Fi, I've got it hooked up to Ethernet right now, or you can create a hotspot on your phone or plug in a SIM card. As long as you've got good amount of internet speed at that particular time, you can stream to multiple platforms. So yeah, it's really sort of separating itself from a lot of the other options out there. And trust me, I've tried them all. So I really feel like this has a lot of things going for it. If they've fixed this audio bug that's just a YouTube related one, then that'll be really cool. And if it's still there from time to time, at least they're on the right track, because some people were complaining that it was all the time. Some people didn't complain about it. So yeah, it was like a bit of an intermittent bug. Hopefully it's been squished, and I just thought I'd update you with a video showing you exactly what I can do in context to actually live streaming. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks again for watching. Catch you soon. See ya.